I'd like to share a brief story about my family and I. We decided we would have a picnic at Julia Davis Park. We gathered up our belongings. I knew just the perfect spot, a little covered picnic table right there by the pond. What we encountered when we arrived was basically a goose poop nightmare. It was unavoidable to step, and poop covered the grass and the walkways. When we did get to our picnic table, we observed people on the pond feeding the geese. Another guy on a bench was just unloading handfuls out of a gigantic bag, handfuls of bread just thrown at the geese. We eventually became surrounded and a little intimidated. What ruined our picnic ultimately was when my young one-year-old boy slipped in some goose poop and was covered. Nothing ruins a picnic like a young boy screaming covered in goose poop. So today I'm going to inform you about Boise's goose infestation. This goose infestation, it affects everyone in the Treasure Valley, whether you're just a casual picnicker like my family was, or if you're a hiker or a biker, you'll encounter the geese problem. Even if you're just going to the zoo or getting in and out of the water, you must drag your watercraft through goose territory. Even if you're just driving in Boise, you might encounter a traffic jam because geese are jaywalking across your route. So I decided, while researching this paper, to make many visits to our local parks, and I also wanted to double check at Idaho Parks and Recreation, Boise Parks and Recreation, and Idaho Fish and Game. It is illegal to feed the geese, illegal to feed any wildlife in our city parks. More on that to come. So today we'll be looking at the goose problem, what has caused this problem, and what solutions Boise is employing to kind of control this growth in population. So the problem, we've kind of touched on the number of geese, but also their size as a bird is rather intimidating. They have a quite large wingspan, and they can be quite intimidating when you encounter them. And I also mentioned the goose poop. As the population grows, the amount of poop comes along with that. For those of you that are Bronco fans, there's a little bit of a goose problem on the blue turf. They think it's a water spot, and they tend to land and poop there on the Boise blue turf. And then most important problem to know about is that geese are territorial animals, and they will attack. If you want to search on your browser goose attacks, there's some pretty funny images that have gone viral over the days. And in case you're wondering, some geese do have teeth. Yikes. So look out for that. Now we can see that, we can clearly see there's a problem with the geese. Let's look at what has caused this problem to grow so much. One of the things is our geese have a lack of predators. As humans, it's illegal to hunt geese in Boise city limits. Again, I'd like to point out that feeding geese is illegal. Our geese are no longer migratory. We often think Canadian geese will travel from Canada, maybe all the way down to Mexico through Idaho. Ours have decided to stay for all 4 seasons. Our parks are so beautiful and comfortable for them, they're sticking around. Another major problem is our housing developments. As the Treasure Valley continues to grow, we are growing outward rather than upward. Some of the most ideal places to build your house are near water, so therefore we're taking up more of the goose's territory. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, Idaho is the fastest growing state in the nation, with Ada County and Canyon County accounting for 50% of that growth. So the more we grow, the more we're pushing the geese into the center of the city towards our central parks. Now we see the problem and some of those contributing factors. Let's have a brief little look at what is being done to manage this infestation. One of the solutions being used at Julia Davis Park is a laser. At night, in the middle of the island there, in the middle of the pond, they're turning on a laser and it's kind of scanning across the pond, chasing the geese out that way. This only works at night, unfortunately. Another tactic, and you can see how well this is being taken on by the geese is scare wolves. Ooh. This gosling seems completely unfazed by the scare wolves. The most effective thing to help get rid of the geese is dogs, but that needs to be done regularly, and we need to keep shooing them off at the same time regularly. But there's an off-leash dog issue when it comes to the Boise City parks, so that is kind of controversial, I suppose. Anyways, now you're up to speed with our community's goose dilemma, the cause, and some of the solutions that we're working on. We'll probably see more extreme measures being taken as this goose population continues to grow. Famed comedian Ron White, I saw him at the Ford, Idaho Center, and he mentioned Idaho's goose problem. He said we don't need to be focusing on building a wall between Mexico and the U.S. border. What we should be worrying about is putting a net between the Canada-U.S. border. Anyways, if there's one thing I want you to take away from the speech is, don't feed the geese.